Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of PlaceXP Talks, and today we are joined by Neha Muralidharan. And would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. I'm Neha Muralidharan and I'm in my fourth year currently. I'm studying computer science engineering and I just got a placement offer from ISS, full form Institutional Shareholder Services. So, what my company does is it advises hedge funds and mutual funds and similar institutions regarding the shareholder votes. So, basically, a proxy advisory firm in the investment management industry. So, what I am set to do in this company is to analyze all of the incoming data and perform a clear analysis so that insights can be drawn from it.
Actually, sounds like a pretty cool job. Congratulations as well. And what were your levels during your interview? What questions were you asked? Like, what projects did you work on? How did they evaluate you? Do you like to tell us about that?
Yeah, sure. So, the selection process, so basically, a form was sent out to us and we were asked to fill it out. And apart from the basic details, information like our achievements, internship, research papers, resumes were also asked. So, naturally, the first phase was the resume shortlisting. So, out of all of the applicants, around 315 of us were asked to give the online exam. So, this was completely a programming and aptitude round, and 60% of the questions were based on Java programming. Topics like data structures and algorithms and pointers were extensively tested. And questions like figure out the output, find the flawed line in the program were dominated. So, coming to the aptitude and the English part, both of these concepts were equally tested. Permutations and combinations, work rate and time were majorly asked. English was random, like sentence correction, arrange the paragraph, questions on grammar was also asked. And even certain logical reasoning questions were posed. So the next round was a domain specific round. So we were asked to choose what kind of job profile that we want to work on. So we had testing, we had database management, Oracle and SQL. We had software engineering, we had data analytics. So I specifically chose data analytics. So, in the start of the interview, I was asked about my internships and my projects and how did I work on them. They went into detail. So, I'd say if you're putting anything on your resume, know everything about it. Okay. Later, the interview sent me this data set. And I was asked to analyze it. So I had to download the data set, share my screen, and code out. The questions asked were find out the NA values, sort based on the location column, plot this graph, and finally classify the data set. So I was given freedom to choose any language I wanted, either Python or R. And the final round was the HR interview. Basic questions based on my personality, strengths, weaknesses, future plans, stuff like that were asked. And yeah, so the entire thing was conducted on one day, and the results were also posted on the same day, midnight.
Like, damn, like on the same day must be pretty like hectic if you went through
Yeah.
all that stuff all together. Okay, so during the technical round, when you had the whole majority was Java and they asked data structures and all, I just started learning data structures, and for me, and I believe that a lot of other students it might be difficult more so like maybe like some of them are like generally pretty good at coding but for someone like me, a few of my friends, like we find it difficult at times. So how would you say like we prepare for those sort of questions, yeah, if we are asked that in our interviews respectively?
Okay, so what I did was on the first week, uh, I basically practiced basic and random questions on CodeChef and HackerRank. Okay, so that I get comfortable with competitive programming. So later, I would go on to interview bit. So in this platform, there are levels. Okay, like the first level is arrays and bit manipulation. The second level has strings, and the last level has graphs. So level wise, the topics increases, and every level has a topic. So what I do is I pick up one level, one topic, go on YouTube or GFG Geeks for Geeks, and then learn about it a little. Okay, then I'd go on lead code and solve around 50 questions, 30 easy, 15 medium, and around 5 hard. And now I'd come back to interview bit platform, click on the topic, and solve every single question under that topic. Okay, interview bit is one of the go-to platforms, and the questions present there are previously asked questions in the interviews, like top companies like Google, DirectEye, Goldman Sachs. All of these are asked questions, so it takes around 2 days per topic. So half a month overall basic practice is over. Yeah.
By the way you are speaking, I assume you were a pretty like consistent student and you practiced a
No,
lot.
no, are you kidding me? No, I am telling you honestly, I started preparing for placements after the company started coming to VIT. I did not start
Okay.
before that. So I was a very chill student. I prepared for GMAT throughout. So yeah.
Oh, damn. So, like, when did you not end up giving, or do you want to work first and then go for higher studies?
Yeah, actually, GMAT, MBA, they actually ask for work
Ah,
experience.
yeah.
So
I
that's
see. I
why I
see.
took.
So,
I'll
how
work.
long do you plan to work
Okay,
here?
the average working thing is around 5 years, but I would work for 1.5 and 2 years, go for MBA, come back and then work.
Oh, you plan to come back too. That's nice.
Ah, no, I don't go. It depends on my experience actually. My dream is to set up a company, so I'll
Oh,
figure everything out
wow.
later. I know it
Okay.
sounds wow, but very difficult.
No, no, I actually have a few of my friends who have that dream too. So, like, what would you like to tell us about that? Like, what's your dream? What sort of company do you want to set up?
Well, I haven't decided about my products yet.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of stuff that I've been thinking. Probably, there's this one thing that I really thought about farming actually.
Oh,
There's machine learning and AI right now, and farmers in general, they don't have much resources, even land. So I thought we could lease out the land, or I could buy the land, give it to the farmers, share the profits, and I would be like this smart service provider. I can show them using machine learning and stuff, telling them where extra manure has to be applied, where irrigation has to be given. So that was my idea, but I haven't thought much about it yet. I'll do my MBA and then figure it out.
I mean, that's a pretty good idea. So, like, good luck. I hope you achieve whatever you
Yeah.
aim to do.
Thank you.
And we would like now talk about the actual marks. Like, how much do you think like marks matter? Like, I know they matter, but like on a scale of 1 to 10, how much they matter? Then, if for example you do get slightly lesser marks than what is considered average or above average, how would you make your way into getting a job, or in fact getting an admission outside, if you know anything about the higher education part?
Yeah, so I'd say marks are pretty important, but in VIT, the system is as such that you don't need to stress yourself to get more marks. Okay, you can get an 8 CGPA very easily, and that is, and I recommend staying above 8 CGPA, somewhere above that, because you need to not only focus on your studies, you need to attend hackathons, you need to make research papers, you need to take part in clubs and teams, okay, take part in vibrance, diversify yourself. Marks are important. Surely maintain about 8, 8.5. Okay, above 9, great. Okay, but also don't get completely into studies so that you ignore the other part, because if you try for applications outside, especially MBA, they look at how many things you have actually done rather than focusing on marks itself. Okay, in MBA application specifically, I'd say above 8.5, they are completely okay with it. Okay, they don't look at the barrier after that. And even on jobs, most of the cutoffs are above 7. Okay, so 7 CGPA above, you'll be able to apply for most of the companies. There are a few companies that ask about 8, 8.5, and few of them there who ask about 9, but very rare about 9. So maintain a CGPA above 8. It shouldn't be difficult.
Did you have any other hobbies, or did on your free time did you mostly just participate in hackathons and etc.? Did you
I
have
did
any other hobbies?
participate in hackathons. Did not was not very successful. I wrote a research paper, COVID detection using EWT. So there's using a professor from VIT and another professor from BITS. So I combined with both of them and wrote the research paper. I would take part in Vibrance and Technovit fests. Like the marketing team, I take part there, and I'd also play basketball a lot in my first year. So yeah, these were basically my hobbies.
What tips would you give to someone who is probably struggling in time management? Like, what would you say to them?
Time management. So see, first thing, try to be consistent. I was not. That's why I'm telling you that try to be consistent. Plan out stuff, okay, and stick to a plan. So what I think is that don't plan out like your education first and then what you do in your free time. Now plan out what you do in your free time first, and around that try to plan where you'd insert your studies and stuff. Now you don't need to be completely honest, you don't need to study for cats and fats 1 month before. 1 week before is fine. Okay, it's totally fine, especially in VIT. The system's very flexible. Try to participate in hackathons, okay, research papers, learn a new skill, okay, especially if you're a CSE student, either choose a machine learning domain or a web development domain, okay, because there are a lot of profiles that come for web development and machine learning for placements. Okay, choose one of these domains, study extra. Okay, whatever course they're going to teach you in VIT, it is probably important to get marks, but you need to study a lot more to be good at it. Okay, so choose a domain, study separately, and for cats and fats, don't worry. Study 1 week before, 1 day before is more than enough.
This is actually pretty like, and like it's ensuring me that I will be okay. To
No,
be honest, I've been like like this year has been pretty rough, like the second year because of the time management stuff. I mean, I actually did study 1 week before only because we were mostly pushed to do that. It was, and
yeah,
I'm not someone who studies 1 week before the exam or even 1 day before the exam.
it is totally. I know every single person in VIT does the same thing. I'm telling you. They just tell you that
Yeah,
they study all the time. But no, it's good to study 1 week before. And assignments, there are so many assignments and
exactly.
quizzes.
That's
Yeah, and
why, like the
especially
whole
in
time
second year.
management thing.
You know, in third year gets easier, trust me. And try to finish all of your subjects in third year so that you don't have anything to do in the fourth year. I have one subject in fourth year right now. And in the next semester, I don't have anything to study. So try to do that. Take all of your subjects in the third year and finish it off.
In the third year, yeah. I think those tips would be pretty helpful for everyone who's watching. Would you like to add something else?
Okay, with respect to placements, two things. In terms of technical advice, I would say go to your calendar, pick out 20 days, and work all you have on those 20 days, okay? Because that's all it takes to crack a super dream. To be completely honest, I started competitive programming only after companies started coming to VIT. So solve every single question on interview bit, solve out important questions on lead code, and before any interview or online test, major tip, go to GFG or Glassdoor archives, look at the company's style of questioning. Okay, because Josh Technologies extensively asked questions on trees and graphs. Ion focused on critical thinking and puzzles. Okay, so it is important to know what kind of questions they ask so you can prepare accordingly. Number two, don't be hard on yourself because placements are stressful. Okay, you will see all of your friends getting placed, you will see others progressing, many people around you will be getting results. That's not what you actually care about. Okay, you will seriously doubt yourself, but don't. Work for it and trust the process. And personal tip, talk to a friend. Okay, preferably a friend who is already placed or someone who's planning for higher studies because they'll have time. Talk to them, vent out all your frustration and self doubt. Okay, I did pester my friend every day. I would text her and she was very motivating. So find someone to talk to so that you don't take out all of your emotions in your preparation. Okay, but remember, only went out in your free time. Don't let it affect your preparation. So, code, went out a little, code, go back to sleep, eat well, repeat the same for 20 days, and voila, you have a super dream.
Thank you so much for answering the questions today. This was a very fun interview, and thanks for joining us, Nehadi.
Thank you for having me here. You feel fun.